This is the 2025 Range Rover Sport Dynamic SE P530. What do you get for $122,730? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today we're at Land Rover Shreveport and we're going to go over the particulars on this Range Rover Sport to give you the information to let you see what you get for that sticker price. If you want to know more and maybe come in and buy this Range Rover Sport, check out the link down in the description of the video. The exterior color is Fuji white, and we're gonna have full LED lighting. LED headlights, signature daytime running lights. Now that flickering effect you see with the lights is not really happening unless you look through the lens of my camera. So in case you're curious about that, no, you can't actually make your Range Rover Sport do that. We're also going to have the fog lights down here on the lower portion of the bumper. I know that's a very important feature for a lot of people. Yes, it's here. We'll have our forward-facing camera and our classic Land Rover look with this Range Rover Sport here on the front end, the upper and the lower grills. A lot of good functionality here, allowing air to flow in for what's under the hood. The one thing I do wish was different, although I like that the accent pieces right here break up the color and break up kind of the monotony of sorts if they weren't there overall, but I wish they were functional. Although I do like the fact that we have this area right here that works its way off of this piece and just kind of fades away into the door. That's nice. All-wheel drive, air suspension. Let's talk about the tire and wheel setup. The width is going to be 285. We'll have a 40 series sidewall wrapped around the gloss black 23-inch wheels. And yes, you do have a full-size spare tire. When it comes to the side view mirrors, I like the gloss black here because it matches our two-tone with the black roof with that Fuji white. Just the perfect color combination in my opinion. As far as the mirrors go, turn signal indicators are built in. They're heated, they're power adjustable, blind spot monitoring right here, and they are also power folding. We'll take a quick look here at the roof line. And I have the dual shark fin antennas, and I like the clean look we have back here. A nice large rear roof spoiler, and that means there's plenty of room to conceal away the rear window wiper. Nice to know that it's there, but it just, to me, looks better this way. We'll finish things off with the LED taillights. One thing I would like to see is maybe a lighter color on the Range Rover name right here when it's right against that gloss black trim. Tell me what you think about that. And we'll have the actual, we don't have faux exhaust finishers back here. Everything is real and everything is functional. The quad tip exhaust gives it a really nice look. We'll also find those sensors right there. That means you have a lot of great safety features on and around this Range Rover Sport. And here's what the remote is going to look like. No changes for 2025, but for those who might want to see, there you go. And you can see the power folding side view mirrors in action. I wanted to make sure you saw that. You're also going to have the deployable door handles right here. So when you lock or unlock the vehicle, we'll determine where those are positioned. That's going to help with aerodynamics. And that's not the only thing to talk about with the front and the rear doors. These are also soft close doors, which means if you're not familiar with that terminology and what it is, if you don't close the door all the way, well, it finishes the job for you. Not only on the front doors, but also here on the rear. Under the hood is the stout 4.4 liter twin turbo V8. 523 horsepower, 553 pounds-feet of torque, and that's all mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. And I know most people are not concerned about MPGs when they buy a vehicle like this, but I know somebody's going to ask in the comments section if I don't tell you. It's going to be 16 city, 23 highway, 19 combined, and 5.3 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. And because I know how people are, yes, I'm going to show you here on the window sticker that it is indeed the 4.4 liter V8. And if you're curious about the gas tank, you don't have capless fuel fill, instead you have the gas cap. What do you prefer where that's concerned? I know people have their preferences. It seems like a lot of people aren't crazy about capless fuel fill. But when you fill up, this is a 23.8 gallon gas tank. If you happen to want to tow with your Range Rover Sport, it's capable of towing a solid 7,716 pounds. 31.9 up to 53 cubic feet worth of cargo capacity. You can remove the cargo cover right here. Let's see if I can get that out of the way. There we go. That is removable, so that's going to be very helpful. And here's how everything looks with the seats lowered, maximize cargo space. And I don't know if I can do this one-handed or not. Let's find out. There we go. There is your spare tire. I wanted to show you that that was here. We have cargo lighting on each side. I always like that. It just makes things so much easier. And I like that you don't have to hold down the buttons. Notice I'm not holding down the buttons. You just push or pull on the buttons to raise or lower the seats depending on what you need to do. You have a little bit of space over here for storage. That's pretty easy to deal with. And we also have the ability to raise or lower the rear of this Range Rover Sport depending on what you need. If you need it to be higher up for whatever reason for loading and offloading cargo, well, there you go. You can raise it all the way up. You can see that that's sitting up pretty high right there. And it actually does go up fairly quickly. We can come right here and hold this button down. I know there's no way you'll be able to hear the air leaving the suspension back here. Well, maybe you can. I don't know. That might have been a quiet enough moment right there where you could actually hear that. But if you couldn't, don't worry about it. I don't think it's that big of a deal. But I did want to show you the differences in height. And obviously, you can raise it and lower it in between those two settings quite a bit, depending on what your situation is. Might make it easier to load or unload whatever you have back here. One other thing that I wanted to show back here is the lighting that's built into the power tailgate back here. That also will help after dark. Good for tailgating or whatever the situation is. Let's take a look into the interior. The color here is going to be a combination of caraway and ebony. It's a very nice look. You will find some gloss black in a few different areas, but I also like the bronze finish that we have. I really think we should probably have this finish here instead of the gloss black. What do you think about that? But the color combination does work. Nice large door bin and a nice large armrest, very comfortable, and you can recline these rear seats back with the button this right here on the door. Obviously you can do that with both doors. A panoramic sunroof with a power shade that can be drawn forward. That front portion will open. We'll go ahead and hop on inside. Definitely no shortage of space back here, especially with the seats reclined, the seat backs reclined as they are right now. We're going to find the rear seat pockets right here, one on each side, and a little bit more of that trim that I like so much right there. Just looks better than gloss black, in my opinion. Now, right here, something that's very, very nice and very, very useful. The command center for the air conditioning. We have 4 zones of climate control, 2 in the front, 2 in the rear. But what I like here is that the rear seats are not only heated, they are also ventilated. Always nice to see that. We can pull that back and adjust the fan speed if we need to. You can do that. And then obviously you can change the settings here on the right-hand side as far as heated and ventilated seats. All of that is going to be here. Very nice, and as strange as it might sound, comfortable dials right here. You can see the pattern that's on there, the finish that's on there. That just makes it easy to grip. I like that. And we'll have other settings here, obviously, that make things nice and easy to deal with. Also, some connectivity options down here, 12 volt and USB options. And if you're curious to know, here is how things look with the panoramic sunroof from this particular vantage point. I know you can't really see out there very much because we have had a little bit of rain today. Oh crap handles at every door. Not bad. When you have 553 horsepower at your disposal, somebody might need those. Here's the fold down armrest. The only thing that I don't like about this particular design of armrest, when you fold it down, using it as an armrest, well, you can do it this way, but when there's a cup there, well, that kind of makes a difference. A cup or in each side, one or both sides, that makes a difference as far as that goes. So just one of those things, kind of hard to fix that with this particular design. But we do have a little bit of space here in the center as far as some storage goes. We'll go ahead and hop on into the driver's seat so we can see what's going on here. We'll hit the button to start everything up and let you see everything come to life. Now, I am going to let you see that there is the shade going back. I'm actually going to bring that back forward. just so that we can reduce some of the light, the glare in here, even though it's not too bad today. Having the sun behind the clouds is useful in that respect. When it comes to the passenger side, this is the same with the driver's side. We're going to have a nice large armrest and nice large door bin. You can see the trim that's here and the different colors. And with these seats, you have everything you want. They're power adjustable, they're heated, they're ventilated, and you have lumbar support, but it's not on the door panel and it's not on the seat itself. I'll show you where that is shortly. And we're also going to have our lower glove box right here, the more traditional glove box, but also the upper glove box area right here. A little bit of extra space where that is concerned. Over here on the driver's side door, something I didn't mention on the passenger side over there is you also have seat memory, just like you do here on the driver's side, but we also have the controls for our side view mirrors, all that good stuff here. I think you know what all is there. Pretty easy to deal with. Now, we have a tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. It's adjusted right here with this control on the right-hand side of the steering wheel. Shifter paddles on each side, so you can work your way back and forth through that 8-speed automatic transmission during spirited drives if you want to. And you control the headlights and the fog lights, all of that right here with these controls. There's also another function that this controls, but I don't want to overload anybody with information who doesn't know what it means when you actually do that. Some of you do and some of you don't. And over here on the right-hand side of the steering column, you got your good old control right there for the front and rear window wipers, and a nice look with the digital instrument cluster. And you can go in and make some changes to that. So we're going to go right here. All we have to do is push that center button, and you'll notice those arrows come up. And here's what we have, quite a few things. You can go through and make a lot of changes to the display layout, all of that. You can see what all is here. You can see the head-up display settings. If you want to change those, that's where you're going to go. We'll just go in and show you can change the brightness, the position, and the content that is displayed there. So very easy to deal with. And then all we have to do is hit that left arrow right there to get back out of that screen. I don't know how well you can see the head-up display, but we'll try and give you a view as best as we can. Everything over here for your adaptive cruise control. And if you need to turn on the heated steering wheel, which we do not need today, but it is there. And here is where the hazard light button is. If you need that, you can see the air conditioning vents here and the very nice and easy to use Pivi Pro infotainment screen. And any kind of shimmering effect or anything like that, just the same way with the headlights, is not really happening. It has to do with my camera. It's just one of those things we deal with here with the cameras we use on YouTube to film these videos. Wireless capabilities for pairing your smartphone, not phone. Yeah, you can laugh at that if you want to. Laugh at me, not with me. But you have navigation here. By the way, you also have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. But very easy to deal with. You really don't need a tutorial on how to use this system because it is that simple. If we go here into vehicle, right here, we're going to go into our settings for the vehicle. You can see that we have different driving modes. We have off-road. You can go to auto terrain if you want to right there, eco, and we have comfort and dynamic. If you want to turn off the auto stop start or turn it on, this is where you're going to do that. You can also turn brake hold on or off. I know some people like that, some people don't. And even dynamic stability control, you can see that right there. And what about ride height? You can also change that if you're in a situation. I know a lot of people don't take these off-road, but maybe you've got some high water, some flooding where you live. Well, you can go to your off-road setting right there and raise the vehicle up. Now, it doesn't stay that way, unfortunately, in all situations. It depends on the speed that you're driving. If I remember correctly, it's 15 miles per hour. It will return to normal ride height. You can also go to access right there, and it's going to be a lot lower. It has such a nice, aggressive, low-profile look. It would be nice if it would stay that way, but unfortunately, that doesn't happen. And like I said earlier, I'm going to show you how you turn or adjust lumbar support. So here's what we do. We're going to go right here and select right there. And there you go. You can see it right here. Here is lumbar, and you can make your adjustments here as you need to. Easy to deal with. You can also adjust the headrest, the bolstering, and even the cushion right there. If you want to deal with seat heat, you can do that. It's a pretty simple setup. I like it. It works. It's not complicated. And here is how you turn on your ventilated seats, or we can go over here and turn on the heated seats. I don't really need either one today, and then you can turn everything off right there on the driver's side. Easy to deal with. Simple. I like that. Sync your climate control together on both sides, or unsync that depending on what the driver and the passenger want up here. But one of my personal favorite features is right here. We're going to go in and take a look at the different camera views. You can see everything from every angle. Whether somebody parked too close to you or you parked too close to them and you don't want to hit them, or whatever the case is, you can see how close you are to things, whatever's around you. If you're concerned about it, you can deal with that. And that's not all we can do. We can go to our front view camera, our rear view camera. We have so many different views depending on what we need to see. We can literally see everything from everywhere. And again, going back to driving in that situation where whether it's off-roading or you've had some bad weather, knock some trees and things down, and you want to make sure you're not going to drive over something you shouldn't, it's going to be very easy to see from this particular view. You can turn the screen on and off. Haptic feedback right there, auto theme, home screen. If you want to make adjustments there, you can do that. And if you want to go in and tune the audio to your liking, that's how you do it as well. All right here, pretty easy to deal with. If you need to do a software update, there it is, your notifications. You can see what all is here. But I like it. It's simple. It has a nice clean look. There's your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto if you want to use that. Now, we do have a lot of gloss black up here. Some people like it, some people don't, or some people call it a piano black finish. So tell me which person you are. And I don't know how well we can see it, but I think we can see it okay. Here is your wireless charging pad. So if you need that, there it is. We're also going to have our button to start and stop the engine, turn it on and off, and the shifter. I like that the shifter fits so well in the palm of my hand, and so we can just go into drive right there. There's the button you push to go back into park. And you have your cup holders right here. You also have some space underneath, and there is a USB port there. You also have the nice large center console. Plenty of space within. This is a refrigerated center console in this particular case. You can turn that on. You have two different settings depending on what you want to do with that. Now, as far as the armrests go, I like to just leave them up like this and use the center console lid as an armrest. For me, that works. Other people might say differently than that. You might want to use those, but you can adjust with this control right here how high they are. So depending on your situation, that's easy to deal with. There's our upper console. Take a quick look at what's up there. Not too much to talk about, but here's how you open and close the power shade, and here's how you open and close the sunroof. And one more thing I wanted to let you hear is the fact that we have the parking sensors. You hear that? Whether it's the front or the rear, you're going to get those indicators, and you'll see the image come up on the screen that'll show you what's going on around you. Just one of those great features that I know a lot of you want to know about. Obviously, at this price point, yes, it's here. Can't help but step on the loud pedal there and give you a good exhaust note. But what I like here is you have all that horsepower at your disposal when you need it, or you can just cruise down the road. No big deal. Very comfortable ride quality. And here's the thing, it is really quiet in here. If you watch me regularly and you've seen videos where I drive on this particular road, it can become extremely noisy in a lot of vehicles, but it's not too bad here. You do hear some, but it's still not too bad. It's a lot better than it is with the majority of vehicles I drive through here. You can't really see it, but this road is extremely washboarded out, so it's very rough and can make for a very noisy experience driving through this area. But you have a very quiet interior here. The seats themselves are nice and comfortable, so much adjustability there. As I showed you earlier in the video, you can adjust pretty much anything and everything to make sure you're good and comfortable for the nice long road trip. And I like that everything is so easy to get to. The only thing that's missing here, at least in my personal opinion, is the lack of physical controls for the air conditioning. Some people might like that, some people might not. You already know that that's in the infotainment screen, but That's the way it is. It does give a nice clean look to the interior, but personally I say give me my functional controls, my physical controls I should say, that aren't functional, for the air conditioning. What are your thoughts on that particular subject? A very spacious interior. I have so much room left for adjustability here in the driver's seat. I know people who are well in excess of 6 feet tall would be very comfortable here. They can adjust the steering wheel, the seat, lumbar support, everything. We showed you all of that earlier in the video. Some of it's in the infotainment screen, some of it's on the doors. So a little bit of a combination with the physical controls and the controls that use technology, if we want to put it that way. But one way or another, it's easy to deal with and easy to learn. I like that. That's always a good thing, always a plus, that's for sure. And easy to see out of, even out of that back window. A little bit of an angle back there, but it's not hard to see out of. A very well-balanced vehicle. When the day comes that we see a full redesign with this Range Rover Sport, one thing I would be interested to see is what Range Rover might do when it comes to ambient lighting. What do you think about that? I know some of you don't care, some of you do. In my opinion, Mercedes-Benz has the market cornered where that's concerned. But what do you think? Is that something that's missing here? Tell me what you think needs to be added to the Range Rover Sport that isn't currently available. And that's what you get, at least the high points. I know we didn't cover everything down to the torque specs for the lug nuts, but that's what you get for a sticker price of $122,730 on this Range Rover Sport. Tell me what you think. Is this something you plan to buy for 2025? If so, tell me how you want to spec it out, trim level, all the details. I'd love to know. I do want to say a special thanks to my friends at Land Rover of Shreveport for loaning me this Range Rover Sport for the day. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to take the time to watch and give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. That helps me out a lot. Please share this on your timelines on social media so other people can see it. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.